Hey, kick back and relax and enjoy yourself for just a second. We're going to discuss identifying wild plants. That doesn't necessarily mean wild edible plant. It could be a medicinal plant or just a plant you want to identify to see if it really is what it is. Nowadays, with a lot of people getting back to the earth and trying to raise some food for themselves because of the prices that are going crazy, this is becoming quite popular again. I've had so many numerous questions, I figured I need to touch on this. How to identify a plant? Well, first off, you need to get yourself a good library. Okay? Now, it doesn't have to be expensive. You can go and get used books. Okay? One of the books that I would suggest that you get, whether it's wildflowers or medicinal plants or anything else, one of the, should I say, the people that I like to get is called Peterson's Field Guides. Okay? And Peterson's Field Guides to fish and invertebrates and wildflowers, edible plants, medicinal plants, trees, shrubs. Peterson's Field Guide is a marvelous set of books to get. All right? You can get specific books like here's an edible wild plant for my area, eastern central United States. You can get one for the western, all kinds of different areas. You can just look, see what they got. Peterson's Field Guides. Other plants you can get, or other books, you should be able to pick up would be books from like reputable places. Discovery Channel, pretty reputable. Falcon Guides, okay, pretty good books. These pocket guides that come, Waterford Press, are really neat, and they have edible plants, trees, stuff like that. You can see, as you can see. And they fold out. They have very nice pictures. They have descriptions. They have sizes. All right, front and back. I mean, they really use this thing. It's coated. It doesn't tear up easy. It's a good little thing to throw in your backpack, bag, whatever you're going out looking with. Local books. Okay, this is for Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. All right, you need to check on these, see how they are. I mean, your local library. I got this book from the library. Very good book. Okay, doesn't cost anything because I'm just using it from the library. Take it back. I can copy pictures out of it, write things down. Most good field guide books that you're looking for plants will have a lot of pictures, drawings, descriptions, things like that. You want more than one book. Why do I say that? Because you want to be able to cross-reference things. And don't just rely on the internet, because sometimes people mean well, they put the wrong picture in accidentally, things get jostled around. They may have meant to say yellow flower, and they said blue flower, and sometimes people don't proofread their stuff. I'm guilty of that. I don't proofread, so you need to be careful what goes up there. Now, we go out and we get a wild plant and we go, oh, I think it's that. Okay? Well, that's called a tentative identification, because you think that's what it is. Now, with that tentative identification, now you get your book or your paper or whatever else, and you go, yep, it looks like that. Okay, it looks like that, but is it that? Is it really that? Because it could be of the same family. It could be of the same species. It could be looking close to it, but maybe there's a difference. Maybe those are narrow leaves instead of broad leaves, or the leaves are too long, or maybe the fruit's not the same, but it doesn't have any fruit on it right now, so you don't know. Maybe, there's different ways to identify the plant. So now you tentatively identify the plant, you've got in your book, and now you need to reference it. That's what you're going to do. So you go, oh, it looks like that. Well, does it really? Okay, so now we start looking and we reference, and we go, okay, it has yellow flowers and narrow leaves, and its leaves have jagged edges, and we're looking at it, we're looking at it look like saw teeth, and we're looking, and everything fits. Don't make the plant fit the description. If you read down through there and it goes, it's got narrow leaves and with sawtooth edges, and the plant doesn't have sawtooth edges, don't go, well, it kind of looks like this plant. No. It either is that plant or it's not that plant. And there can be such subtle differences as it's a yellow flower and that's it, or it's a yellow flower with white inside. It's got 5 petals, not 8. It's got, narrow leaves, not broad. It has a green stripe or a red stripe running up the stalk. If it does not have all the characteristics that are described in the book, it is not the plant. I don't care if you've got everything except for, and then it has a red stripe running up the stem. Oh, it's got all this, it's got the fruit, everything looks great. It all looks perfect, except it doesn't have the red stripe running up the stem. It's not the plant then. Okay? Any variation. Don't say it looks kind of hairy. It looks kind of oval. It either is oval or it's not oval. It either is hairy or it's not hairy. There is no kind of. Okay? Now you've referenced comparisons. Now, you're not done yet. You have to cross-reference. What do I mean by that? Well, now you've looked it up in this book, and it looks like that. Now you need to get another book and look it up, and now you need to check the internet, or get a third book. I suggest you check 3 or 4 different books, and maybe the internet too, and numerous places on the internet. You need to be absolutely positive that's the plant. Well, I don't care if it's just, a medicinal plant, an edible plant, or something you want to put in your yard. You want to know that's really the plant. Because you would hate to buy a tree that's only supposed to get 5 foot tall, and by 3 years you've got a 30-foot one in the yard. Because that can really mess up your yard. Trust me. Now that you've done all the cross-referencing, you need to look for look-alike plants that look like that. Okay? So in other words, you find all this cross-referencing, and just as I said, and you look at these trees, and you look at these plants, whatever else, and you go, okay, this one's 5 foot tall. Cool, I know that plant's going to be 5 foot tall. Well, wait a minute, that looks like the exact same plant. It's 8 foot tall. Does it really get 8 foot tall? Well, I better go back and look. Yeah. Now, you need to find out, cross-reference, and then you need to search for more look-alike plants so that you can identify that plant later on. You can say, oh, that's that plant. Now I need to go find it somewhere else, so I go, okay, that's the same plant. Then I go over here and find it, go, oh, that's the same plant. Now you'll be able to go out and find that plant wherever you come across it. Hey, there it is. Hey, I see it over there. I see you got that in your yard too, Bob, stuff like that. You need to be able to identify those plants in different areas. That is searching for more lookalikes for that plant. Now comes the big part. Are you confident that that's the plant? If I were to walk up to you and say, it don't look like spinach, it looks like poison ivy to me. Could you look at me and go, no, it's really spinach because, and confidently convince me that that is really spinach and not poison ivy? That's the confident part. So, when you go through those steps, you tentatively identify it. Yes, I'm cheating, I'm looking at notes. You reference it, you cross-reference it, you search for more look-alike plants to it, more of those plants, and you're confident of that plant, then you've learned that plant. Going through the part of being edible and going through the part of being medicinal, and that stuff will come later on. But to positively identify a plant, that's the steps we go through. Alright, I thank you for watching. I hope I answered your questions.